So,
Hey everyone, so this is going to be an analysis of Isgar's new 1553 world record, which is the first up 16. First of all, huge congrats to Isgar. He's been playing for a really long time in this category, 97,000 resets. And probably been um, one of the first, one of the longest running 15 players. I think he started back in June or something. So yeah, this is really deserved. He's come a long way. Also super underrated. He's been streaming since like 20k resets or something. So yeah. So I know Isgar's he sounds unhappy with this PB, so he probably continue running. So I'll try to be a bit harsh in this analysis, just to help him grind later. Hopefully this is helpful for other people, maybe interesting.
uh,
Um,
not too
right, so
long
yeah, the
about it.
coastal's pretty instant. And then so the most important thing in the coastal, I would say, is um, like looking at it when you're first approaching the village to uh, be able to make a good route. So by the looks of it, there's a couple houses here and there's two bed houses here. You want five or six beds if you're going for a record. Five to one cycle and one more if it's easy to get in order to one cycle. So it looks like there's three houses here and two houses there, or three or four, or maybe five. Can't really tell too much. So he's probably going to have to go to those houses. So I would say the best route would be to go here, and then to those houses, and then back over to the brewing stand, then take the hostage. Um,
Too
I think he checks his
worn up about it.
too. Yeah.
Not that great. I've definitely had better seats, so not too
Yeah, both his cores are increasing in this direction, which
worn up
is really
about it.
good. So the cores have been become a pretty important part of resetting 1.15 nowadays. Um, both of Antrakis's world records are at really good coordinates of the village. They're both around 400 out, 400 away from 00 and heading in the perfect direction, which is partially why they were able to do the world record. And I think Doug's record was also around 200 out. Um, and Pingu's run is also around 300 out, which are all four of those are really good cores. This one's also really good. So this is something that Doug looked into a couple months ago. That turns out that good chords villages have a much higher chance of becoming sub 17s or sub 18s. So this is a really nice village. And something else about villages at good chords is that it's really good to front load at them, which is what Isgard does here. Because the reasoning is that you're gonna have to travel less because your cores are really good, so you'll probably pass by less shipwrecks, um, which makes it more useful to have some front loaded. Um, right. So he decides to make his tools at this house. I think it's generally a good idea to make tools early. While you're punching the wood, I also like while doing this, going at F5 and scouting out the village to help route it better. Um, yeah, something else you could do here is that this house has two doors. This particular house is really common. And what I like to do is, after making the wood pick, to mine uh, those two cobblestone blocks. One of them is actually a mossy cobblestone block, which doesn't matter. You can just mine the mossy cobblestone, then two more cobble elsewhere. So that makes it so you only have to mine three extra logs instead of five. Yeah, Isgar goes for six here. I know he likes going for a double boat. I guess it's a personal choice whether you want to do that, but I would say it's generally not that
Assertion, but
useful to have a second boat. If you want
s-
to go down Nether, you can always bed clutch. Most of the time, you'll build a bed clutch. And if you're using a shield, um, you're already mining a lot of wood. So, and if you're using a wood axe to do that, it's gonna take much longer. So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
s-
Oh, also for the thing where you mine the two cobble in the doors, that's generally better for if you go for shields. If you don't go for shields, then it's faster to just make a wood axe and a wood pickaxe, unless you're also making a composter. Right, so that size head to the left, which is a bit of a mistake since obviously that he'll have to backtrack later.
This
But something else I forgot to mention back here is that um,
is
this is also a nice
not too
switch to front load because
worn up
you can
about it.
already see there's a patch of hay bales over there, and there's two farmer job blocks, two composter places here that you can get. So when you're going over to the right side of the village to get those two beds, you should it would be pretty easy to get that composter. So yeah, go forward a bit. Yeah, so he goes to the left and then to the right.
This is annoying. Never mind, it's fine.
Even though he went to the left first and then the right, could also have on that composter. Since he's going to have to go back to the composter by the coast, and then find a villager, go back to take hostage. So it's going to be not really linear. Something also about getting composter early is that you'll be able to check farmers throughout your route. So one of the biggest time losses of checking farmers is that since they don't always give you the trade, you have to check through a lot of them sometimes. And being able to overlap that with, say, mining hay bales or looting houses is going to save quite a bit of time. Um, Going through five farmers before getting retrade is um, pretty common, and each time you do that, it will take um, anywhere from like 2 to 5 seconds. So be able to save or overlap as much of a 10 to 20 seconds as possible is really nice. Yeah, so he's heading to these hay bales now, um, and he's got a composter. I'm gonna fast forward through this. Okay, this is a smart play, getting it from the back. Um,
Oh god, okay,
this is
it's fine.
also sort of a good play.
Hopefully,
This guy is extremely easy to take hostage, so
oh god, okay, it's fine.
he's going to
Hopefully I don't get punished for this.
check the farmer on this guy. He also places down that brewing stand here, which I guess is to make sure that guy doesn't wander away, which I guess makes sense. But there's also a problem where if the villager restocks while you're trading redstone, like at the coastal, there'll be this bug where you won't be able to get the day 2 restocks in the next 10 minutes. So if this happened here while he was trading redstone, he won't be able to do the second restock until 12:45. He knows this, which is why he breaks the stand and again. Um, but you can also see that the villager worked right there, right before he got to the stand, so he didn't technically need to do this. Um, Still fun. So pretty comfortable coastal. It was like a 255 coastal lead. With better routing, you probably say around 20 seconds, but sub 3 is still really nice to have. Um, so here you can see as he's routing through the ocean, you can see two good shipwrecks here. The way shipwrecks generate is that they usually basically are at the center of a checkerboard pattern or grid pattern. So there's one here, and there's probably going to be one here, and one back there. So sort of this grid shape. So there's a decision here to make whether to go to that shipwreck and possibly pass over whatever's at that shipwreck region, or go there and then that way. So both these decisions are reasonable, I would say. Um, there's good ocean all along this area, which is pretty important to be going for, and the direction away from 0, 0 is also in this direction. I think it's a little bit more towards this. Um, so both of these decisions are reasonable. You don't know what's here. You also don't know what's here. So going from here to this region to here, and from here to that ship to the next region over there are both reasonable. So yeah, this ship turns out to be bad. Um, yeah, right here he sees the monument and
There.
waits a little bit, but pretty much immediately turns out his render distance, which is good to do, so you don't
So
get
the
domed.
edge. I don't know. That might be fake.
You don't want to wait too much before you turn on your render distance. Maybe if you want to see some stuff. But yeah. This shipwreck loading is a bit awkward. He should have maybe docked over here, right by the fences. Something else he could have done is docked or left the boat right there and then mined into the back. Let's see if I'm gonna get the block. This block will expose the chest. You gotta like place your crafting table there and then stand on it in order to mine it and then do your crafts. Um, You'll also go up those stairs and mine the slab down into the chest. There's another option. Um, yeah, it makes his crafts here. Has everything. Also crafts bread. 6 bread and 2 apples are usually good enough for a road record, but it's good that he grabbed the chests there. Almost every sub 17 run has used 9 or less bread, and there's I think 2 or 3 that use more than 9. I looked into this a while ago. But yeah, 9 is generally a good number. He goes down here to get gravel, which this is a very good play. Since it's a warm motion, you don't know if you'll be able to grab gravel later. Yeah, it goes down to here. Maybe spent a bit too much time mining gravel here, but I think it's fine. So, I personally probably would have put the boat closer to the spot we're digging, but that's your own personal preference, and this is fine. Yeah, this is also something I like to do, which is mining the gold while you're going up and then doing the trade. Doesn't really matter that you do that, but I personally like doing it. Something else here, he overlaps the leveling up of the cleric with boating. So after you do trade and unlock the next level, it takes 3 seconds before you get the particle effect and it levels up. So you can overlap that with boating. Yeah, another way you can overlap it is if there's a shipwreck, you could say buy the lapis and then go down to shipwreck, and once you surface, buy the pearls. Yeah, that's very similar in time save. I'm not sure why he routes the shipwreck this way. We always go over to that hole and loot it, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, he gets 8 emeralds from there, so now he's enough for all 12 eyes. Which, at this time is very comfortable, really nice. And he's also his pace is good and he's at decent cores. I think he's around 1,000 blocks out. So yeah, now he starts
Any
looking for
strongholds?
ravines. You lose at this point. You lose. Generally, there's a lot of runs to no ravine. So yeah, it's good to check all these.
Nice.
Yeah, and the ravine's right here. Oh, something I forgot to mention all the way back here is that
I don't know. That might be fake.
yeah, he goes over ravine here. I think it would have been a good idea to enter there. If when you have a stand, there's a monument right there. You could argue that it's better to go for a monument first and then look for a ravine because you can have pearls of pearl hang. But I would probably go down to that ravine. It's a little bit not linear, but won't lose too much time routing to it. But that's that's not a clear-cut choice, to be honest. Let's go down to go back to this ravine.
Nice.
nothing much to say about this performance. This is pretty much perfect. He does the cobble skip because he already has a stand and doesn't need the extra cobble. I guess I'm talk about right now the pace. I think he enters another at 7:45, like 1,000 blocks out, which is pretty good pace for world record is it's probably slightly above average pace. Um, you preferably want to be entering sub 7 or even sub 6, but 7:45 is so nice. Especially since he has pearls to pearl hang, and once he leaves the nether, it's only going to take around 15 seconds to get back up to the bow and throw an eye. Yeah, so he enters craft a shield. I would probably have crafted a shield with his other stuff. Not sure if he was able to. Something else is that he doesn't really look around before doing the Pydar. It's probably a good idea to go into Quick Pro FOV and look around. Um, since this full pyrite stuff takes around 10 seconds. Um, in this case, he would still have had to do full pyrite. Um, yeah, so here there's kind of a decision you have to make about whether or not to pearl hang. He has 12 pearls already, 12 pearls worth of emeralds and pearls. So this is a very comfortable position to be able to pearl hang. Um, since playing for one eye is pretty reasonable, and you can probably get 4 more emeralds anyway. Um, but the problem with doing it here is that he doesn't see the fortress yet. At this sort of pace, if you're going for world record, I would say you pretty much always want to pearl hang. Um, yeah, let's go back here. Um, can't tell how many chunks away it is. I think it's around 8 or 9 chunks. So yeah, if you want to make this fast, if you're entering at 7:45 and after you leave Nether, it'll take around 15 seconds to throw an eye. So you want sub 4 Nether pretty much, or to throw eye sub 12. Which if you're going for world record, you should pretty much only be going for sub 12 eye throws. Um, although sub 11 eye throws are much better, and getting a sub 3 Nether is what we really want. Um, but yeah. If you're playing safer, it would probably be good to not pro hang. Um, well, if you're playing safer, then you'll probably be playing for sub 18 or sub 20. Then you don't need that fast of another. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say. Yeah, so you will want to play safer because you don't see the fortress yet. You might completely miss it. But if you're playing for world record, you really want to be high rolling. Because pro hang saves so much time. Like it's not even funny how good pro hanging is. Um, yeah, I guess that gas is kind of funny. I think he mentioned at some point that he only has 5 beds, so not enough to place bed. I think there were 6 beds at the village, but getting 5 beds from village is still totally fine if the routing is not that great. Um, yeah, this blaze fight is pretty standard. Um, you probably should have started mining those back 6 blocks, back 5 or 6 blocks, right after the one of the waves finished. Um, since the problem with mining the back blocks is that blazes might spawn on you. If you do it right after a wave ends, there's a 5 second cooldown until more blazes can spawn. Yeah, here he gets a little lost, which I guess that happens to everyone. Something really impressive that he did was he did F3 and C, um, which is very smart to do. Uh, So yeah, that's uses that, finds his way back. Um, in total, it takes just under a minute from him to go to from the spawner back to his portal. So pro hanging, you could probably say it would save 45 or 50 seconds, which if you're going for world record is a lot of time, which is why pro hanging is so good. Yeah, he mines two doors, which he doesn't have to mine up, no, go to a monument anymore, so he doesn't really need to do that. But I guess it's just out of habit. Oh, something I forgot to talk about is that he sleeps at 11:28, which means he'll be able to start day two at 13:08. It's really important to remember these timings. I think he ends up forgetting exactly when he can do day two again. But if you've seen my runs, I like typing in the chat when I slept or um, when 140 after sleep is, just so there's no way I forget it. Oh yeah, so 13:08 is just something you have to remember. Something else here too is that he uses Ninja Brain Bot by the way he uses Ninja Brain Bot is he gets out of the boat, or before getting the boat, he throws it while floating. Um, so no one really knows how to use Ninja Brain Bot in 1.15 yet, since it's just come out. But I think it's very good to avoid having to swim back down to this ocean floor to get the eye. So what I've been doing is I'm using the standard deviation toggle of Ninja Brain Bot. My normal standard deviation is around 0.02, and my alternate standard deviation is zero point 0.2, which is just for when I throw my first die when still in my boat. Um, if it's not in my field of view, so like you're turn to the left or right and can't see the eye or can't point your cursor towards the eye, um, then I guess that's unfortunate. You pretty much want to play for Ocean Exposed anyways in 1.15. So if that happens, it's not a huge problem. It's I think more of a problem if your eye falls into the water and you have to spend a ton of time getting it. Um, yeah, that was probably like a 5 second time loss or something like that. Something else here. As he's boating past the monument, let me see if I can see the angle of the eye. Uh, yeah, I think the line of the eye goes right next to this monument. So I think what would be a good idea to do is turn down your RD so you can um, skirt by the monument closer in order to have a more linear path. But that doesn't save too much time here since the uh, portum's right here. Yeah, so 13:08. He has to, or he'll be at the porter room um, like 20 seconds before that, so he'll have some time to burn. Um, in this situation, I think the best play would be to um, build the pillar for docking right next to the um, porter room, so like up this kelp or something. Since as you can see here, if he builds it there, he'll still have to swim quite a while to get down to the porter room, since it's like 15 or 20 blocks away. Something else here, I think he's playing safe so that um, there's a job lock bug we found recently where if your villager is able to pathfind at 140 after sleep, so in this case at 13:08, um, then basically the villager will bug out and won't be able to do his restocks. So that's if the villager is able to pathfind at that single point in time. Thing about that is that only applies to standless runs, or basically any run where you convert your villager to a cleric after 7:30, so after work hours. But this is a stand run, so he doesn't really have to do that. I guess maybe nerves or something. I guess it's reasonable. Um, but he gets his restock 13:45, which is almost 30 seconds after he should have been able to get it. Um, oh yeah, so this is one of the best plays he does in this run is that he knows it's 5 eye, so he leaves after the first restock. Um, yeah, so this is something that I think it's a good idea to do in general um, if you're above the portal room, and even if you don't know how many eyes there are, after the first restock, you can jump down, see if you have enough eyes. If you already have like 13, 14 eyes worth, this is really good to do. Something you can do in Marco's 16, 17. Um, but here he knows that's a 5 eye, so he can just jump down. Yeah, something else here is that and yeah, this is a good idea to play safe, make sure those the skeleton and the creeper don't mess anything up. Um, I like that play. Um, but yeah, this whole portal stuff, I guess it's due to nerves. I get it. I completely get it. I lost 30 seconds of my PB to nerves. Um, so I guess it's a bit annoying, but I guess it happens. So still record, still sub 16, which is nice, which is what matters, I guess. Oh yeah, back here when he goes down to check, actually, never mind. No, not really sure what it does, but yeah, I think this is where I don't know why the stream gets cut off there. I guess we can talk about this run as a whole. Um, yeah, the coastal is really nice. Um, very good chords. Able to front load easily. Um, yeah, he leaves at 255, which probably shaved 20 seconds off of that with routing from routing to those right two houses and then back. Some other small things here. Um, here, he decides to go to the left path of shipwrecks, which both of these paths would make sense. So I guess interesting that there's this choice and he made it. Not too much to say about that. And here it would probably be a good idea to enter Nether there, but um, going to the monument first and then being able to pearl hang is also a completely reasonable choice. Um, the shipwreck here is routed a bit weirdly, where he docked maybe 5-10 seconds time loss. Um, goes on to get growl, which is very good play, very smart. Um, and he task overlaps buying stuff with boating, which is a good time save. Weird shipwreck routing here. Not sure how much time it saves. Oh my god, ads. So after that shipwreck, he looks for magnet ravines and finds them pretty quickly. Um, very nice that he's able to do that. Um, yeah, 745 nether enter. At very good chords, like 1k out, which is really comfortable, and he has the ability to pearl hang. So this is a pretty good pace. Maybe should have done quick pro to look around planar fog. And here doesn't pearl hang for a reason. If you're going for a record, probably should pearl hang. So this would probably be probably 40, 50 second time loss. Blaze fight is pretty ordinary. It could have broken blocks a bit differently. Um, and then he throws an eye. What's the time? 11:48. Which is pretty much just at the edge of what eye throws you want to be going for. Since you're already like 1200 blocks out, you can probably push sub 1230 eye throw here. But generally sub 12 is nice, and um, this is just barely at the top end of 11. Um, yeah, so this is pretty decent eye throw, but nothing too insane. If you're going for record, you should probably be getting a sub 12 eye throw or 11xx eye throw very frequently, probably at least once a day. But yeah, 11 XXI throws are still good for record, but you really want to be getting 10XX and 9XX. Um, those are the I throws that have a really good chance of getting record, or at least a much better chance, and a pretty good chance of getting sub 15 and maybe sub 1430 too. Um, yeah, he enters and at yeah, 1417, which is I think the sixth fastest end enter. Um, there's Washington is two sub 14s. Isgar also has a 14 flat, but he only had four beds and wasn't able, didn't have any lava or water. And I entered 1402. Pretty good end enter. Um, don't get to see what the end is, but I assume it's pretty normal. Um, yeah. Um, yes. Sorry if I sound a bit harsh. I want to help as much as I can. Um, and I guess if if Isgar wants to keep running, good luck to him. Hopefully sub 15. Now that we have sub 16. Um, what else do I have to say? I guess that's it. See ya.